Hey guys, this old gamer Toilet Duck here, and today I thought I would go through and give you another one of my 30-minute mining trips. So this is another example that we as players can absolutely make a lot of cash very quickly just doing mining. And in this video, I'm going to not only show you what I did, how I did it, and then give you the receipts, meaning I'm going to give you the uncut raw footage as well in a link, and you can watch and see me make anywhere between, I'm going to say you could probably make anywhere between 100k and 250k very easily in 30 minutes or less. In this case, I think it was like 180 something. Sorry, I'm recording this part after the fact. But so yeah, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to jump in the prospector right quick. We're going to head over to Lyria. We're going to talk about it. And then I'm going to show you exactly what I made. And yeah, you can do it too. You can absolutely make 100 to 250K every 30 minutes. Very easy in a prospector. All right, let's go do it. All right, so this is going to be the cut down short version of this. The first thing I'm going to do there is start the timer, as you can see, and let it run the entire time. But the long version of this, and there'll be a link down in the description, the uncut, unedited long version of this video will show exactly what I'm doing. And I talk a little bit over that, but not much. It's actually just raw footage that you guys can see that I am not full of crap. I mean, I am full of crap, but that's entirely beside the point. So the goal of this video, as I said, is to make as much cash as possible in a prospector in as short a time as possible. Generally, I limit myself to 30 minutes. In this case, it was like 26. Location is everything in this, and I do this entirely from the L1 Lagrange point around ArcCorp. It's because it gives you access to a refining facility, and it gives you access to the other very important location where we're refining all of our Quantanium, and that is Lyria. Now, the reason we're using Lyria is because Lyria has a really unique and interesting mechanic, for now at least, until they nerf it, whereby if you find a group of rocks, those rocks will always have Quantanium in it. The trick is finding those group of rocks very quickly. Once you get to Lyria, fly as close to the surface or towards the surface. I usually try to pick something along the horizon, fly to it, and then immediately go the other direction. We're not actually going to that location. We're just using it as a way to get down to the ground quickly. But we don't go as low as we used to. I used to go down all the way to the ground, basically skim right above the ground, just hoping that I ran across a group of rocks, and it took forever. Well, the new way of doing things is by using the scanner and actually limiting the amount of area that you're scanning, or the scanning arc, so that you can better define and see what you're looking at from great distances. By default, the tab key will do the typical and traditional pulse scan that you're all used to, and that will highlight what used to be the boxes. Now it highlights little teeny boxes around, little icons around, and give you a distance. Once you have those, stop moving forward. You then want to lower your scanning arc down to as low as possible with your mouse cursor directly over one of those boxes, and scan again, do the pulse again, and that will highlight what is at that location. By default, it's comma and period to raise and lower your scanning arc, and when you do change your scanning arc, you can see the little number to the left of your main cursor change right here, and you can see I'm raising and lowering it right there. I just went down to 2, now I'm back up to 360. That's how you get those numbers, and it goes, somewhere in between. I always go all the way down. But this is where you can then try to find exactly what is at that location. And sometimes, like right here, it just won't show up at all. That's usually because it's the hand mineable things, in my experience. But like this one here, all the way out at 6,794, it will ping with what it is, and it was a single diamond. Whereas if we come over here, we do it again, we have it all the way down to the 2% arc, and boom, it's a single diamond. So what we're looking for is a cluster of multiple rocks. And once we find that cluster of multiple rocks, that's where we're going. Suddenly, we've lowered the amount of time it takes to find our Quantanium tremendously. No longer do we have to skim across the ground hoping to God we come across a group of rocks or a decent rock and scan all those rocks. No. All we have to do is this scanning mechanic, and then once we lower it to the 2% and scan from this great distance, and we see that ultimate ping of all the different diamonds and all the different rocks show up, we know, holy crap, that's where I'm going. Just like this. Booyah, baby. That's a big win. From there, it's just about going to those rocks, finding which one of those rocks is the highest percentage of Quantanium with the lowest mass. Remember, I've talked about this before. Those are the two numbers that are super important. You want low mass, high Quantanium percentage. And this particular rock has a mass of 4,600 and a Quantanium percentage of 29%. That means this rock is my new best friend. I will go ahead and check the other ones around just to see if they come close or are better. I pretty much knew they weren't going to be. And then I will begin to break the rocks. Now, what's very important is that when you break the rock, you do not collect any of the Quantanium until you are ready to collect all of the Quantanium. Because remember, the instant you collect any amount of Quantanium, you have 15 minutes from that point or you explode. At this point, I was looking at the clock and I realized I only had about 15 minutes left, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up instead of cutting another rock. So I just went around and mined everything, and many of these chunks are, as you can see here, 100% Quantanium, and yay! So once I get them all looted and up into the ship, I go ahead and head back, and then we see how we did. Now again, I could have spent more time out there being a little more selective and actually getting nothing but 100% Quantanium in the prospector. Yes, it is 100% possible, and it's actually rather easy, but this is a 30-minute challenge, and I try to keep it well under that if I can. I mean, obviously the idea is turn around. The faster we can do this, the faster we make money. The one piece of advice I would say, when you do fly back, do your best to avoid hard landings or getting damaged, or definitely don't get into a fight. And of course, when you land and you run inside, absolutely store your prospector, because that pauses that timer. And any bumps or anything in flight like that speeds the timer up and could cause the Quantanium to explode, which is unpleasant generally. But here we are at the refinery. Let's see how we did. Please ignore the other crap that's refining. I had a lot of different loads and runs while I was refining this process. Anyways, so here we go. You can see that I've got a little bit of quartz, a little bit of beryl, and 2,349 units of Quantanium, when I select my preferred refining process, comes out to a total of 2,225 Quantanium that will be returned to me in 1 day's time. That means at current prices, I will be picking up 181,000 credits tomorrow after all of this is refined. Honestly, that's not bad for 30 minutes or less of work. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you. This is Toilet Duck. I'll see you next time.